Spider's Web, and in this video we're going to be painting another miniature from Temple of Elemental Evil. This miniature is one of the villains. He's not a monster, and it's one that I'm going to have some fun with, I think. As you can see, I've got my yellow, orange and a couple of reds there because we're going to paint something that's quite fiery. We're going to paint the Salamander. I want to do this very fiery indeed. So let's do it, shall we? I may add a colour here and there, but basically it's these four colours. So to start off, let us use our Flash Kitsch Yellow and we'll pop some of this on our palette. I need to stock up on some paints, I think. I am running quite short on some of them. Now I'm not going overboard with these. By that I mean I'm not going to try not to put too much down because there's only one miniature. I'm now going to put our Troll Slayer Orange down. I'm going to get all the paints I need set on the palette because it's going to be a very fast paint job, this. So that's the orange down, and now the pale red, which is the Evil Sun Scarlet. Add that, and finally our dark red. Now, I don't know which one I've picked up, so it's going to be a surprise to me. It's Darker Red. Oh yeah, it's either that one or Corn Red. I didn't know which I picked up. But there we are. So we've got our colours on the palette. I am really hoping I have enough, but time will tell. Let's get on with it, shall we? As I said, I may or may not add another colour or two, depending if I need it. But we're going to start off first of all with an all-over coat of the Flash Kitsch Yellow. I'm going to try and make this as bright as possible, and I'm using a very watery mix because I want this to be a good blend. So I'm putting it on like it's a wash. It's going to look as though it's all completely in flame, which is the kind of effect I'm looking for, because it's a fire elemental. This one. At least that's what it says on the villain card anyway. It gives the name of the character, and it says it's an elemental. So we're going to splash it all over with yellow. I'm not worried if a few places on the front of it is still white, but I want to make sure that all of the back ends up being yellow. I think I've done this a little too watery. but never mind, we'll get there eventually. As we add in more colours, it will cover up quite well. I'll say this may or may not be the best way of doing flame, but it's one way I quite like doing it, so that's the way I'm doing it this way. It's a bit more challenging, you've got to really be quick with it. Okay, so I'm going to get all the excess paint off my brush and go into the orange and start dabbing the orange along the back area. Now notice I've not gone into any more water with this bit because I don't want it that watery. I want it to blend in. I wanted the yellow to be watery so that the rest of the colours would blend quite well with it. Hopefully it will do what I want it to do. As I say, it's all hit and miss with this kind of technique, I'm afraid. So if it works, it works. If it doesn't, ah well, never mind, you gave it a try. So unfortunately, if you've got to be very quick and you've got to hope for the best, because we're relying on the water to do the job. And if the water doesn't want to play any particular day, then the water's not going to play. Now I am going to go over some of the side of this. I don't want all the front of it being yellow. So I want it blending. So that is the orange part, hopefully. Done. Now wipe off excess orange and go into our scarlet, and for this we're being a little more stricter in where this colour's going. We want it to just go in certain areas, not everywhere. But we definitely do not want it to go in on the segmented areas here on the belly. I may need to change brushes for this, I'm not sure yet. It depends on how it goes, because sometimes this brush can splay out a little bit, and if I start getting red on these segmented areas, then I'm really going to have to think of changing my brush to one of our rosemary coal brushes. There we are. Now I'm not trying to cover every little bit of orange. I'm going to wash my brush out completely on this because I forgot to. I'm not doing that. So now we're going into our Wazdaka red, and we're just going to run that along the very centre, along the spines here, As I said, we didn't need much, and I think I've put a little bit too much on for it, but there we are. Not to worry. And there is our salamander. Now, as I said, I'm toying with the idea of more colours. There is going to be one colour I will be using now. I can't do that until this is fully dry. So what I will do, however, is just touch up on the belly area with the yellow. I've changed brushes because I want to be a bit more precise in what I'm doing. So just some of the belly area on the face. There we go. Now I'm going to leave this to dry for a few moments, and when it's dry we'll carry on with it, and I'll show you how I'm going to finish this off. So I'm not going to stop the video and restart it just for a few minutes. A few minutes work, so I'm just going to do a quick cut, pause the video now, and then when we come back to it we can carry it on straight from where we leave off. Okay, so here's the cut. Okay, we're back, and this is what we have so far. It's dried nicely, but I want to just add a few other bits and pieces to this. First of all, I want to darken up the red, so we're going to add a little bit more of the Wazdaka red, but we're going to do this as like a dry brush. So we'll get some paint on our brush, wipe it off, and then we'll just dry brush it over where we want it. And that's not exactly going how I want it. So what I'm going to do instead, for a change, I'm going to get this Wazdaka red off and go back to my original plan, which is a little bit of Abaddon black. You've seen me do this before. This shouldn't be a big surprise to anybody. I did this with the fire bats. But I don't want very much black on this at all. And we're just going to go just down the very edges of the like spines, the flames more than spines. And that's the dry brush bit on that, but there are a couple of other areas where I want to do this. Use this colour. So I'm going to get a little bit just on the brush. Wet the brush first, obviously. Probably don't want it too dry. Get some paint on the bristles, and we'll just go over and right at the edge of these do some little triangles, and we're just going to go over the triangles, and it breaks upon the bright colours. just like so. Right, one side done, and now the other side. And there we are, easy done. We just put the paint on and just gently wipe over. It's like I'm just picking out raised areas, like a dry brush really. Nearly finished. Anyway, that is it for that. Next, what I want to do is add a little bit of highlights to the face, and for that I'm going to be using white scar. So I'll get some of that on our brush, and we're just going to go over with the dry brush, get most of the paint off, and just we're going over the front, a little bit of a dry brush over the yellow areas. That will do fine. And that is it for this mini. All we're doing. There we are. That is the Salamander. Very easy to paint. You just have to be incredibly quick to do so. So, that's it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Until next time, take care, God bless, and bye for now.